Well, good evening, everybody. Bobby Allen here from Legacy Leadership and Coaching. Hey, this is the first time I've ever done a Facebook Live. Boy, there's a lot going on right now on the planet, isn't there? Isn't it crazy? We have a global timeout. How's that? Any of you who are parents, you know what it's like to put your kids on timeout? How about when a coronavirus, a disease, puts 7 billion people on a timeout? Isn't that crazy? Not that we've all been bad or done something wrong, not that we're being punished, but it is interesting that we are created for community and connection and yet being forced into the label called social distancing. Isn't that crazy? And I don't know about you. You feeling claustrophobic? Are you feeling like, where do I go? I can't leave the country to get out of this thing, come back when it's over. Maybe I'll go to Hawaii. No, that won't help. Maybe I'll go to Europe. Well, that won't help. Well, I guess we got to go to our own house, stay in our living room, or go in the backyard. I don't know about you guys, but that's cause for concern, right? And I just want to acknowledge those thousands that have unfortunately passed away due to the coronavirus. Families are grieving, loved ones are grieving. So this is really happening. In this time in history on the planet, this thing is really happening. It's very important to pause and think about it. It's important that we find something good about it. How are we going to label this thing? Each one of our families, each one of us need to decide how we will interact with it. One of the things I want to encourage you to do is to be emotionally intelligent. What does that mean? Feel it. Be self-aware. Understand your self-awareness, your self-management, your social awareness, and your relationship management. In other words, slow down and ask yourself, what do I feel about this? What am I really thinking? What am I saying? What am I feeling? What am I doing? That's self-awareness. Slow down. Why? Because it's important for you to know what your contribution is to this thing. How are all of us, one at a time, collectively going to create a movement inside of the movement that brings a sense of safety and peace for every human we encounter, right? After you dial in self-awareness, you're going to want to dial in self-management. Now that you're more aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, doing or not thinking or not feeling, you got to manage that. How are you going to manage what now you're more aware of about yourself? And that takes time, right? Got to slow down and go, what am I going to do about the feelings I'm feeling, the things I'm thinking, the things I'm saying, the things that I'm doing? That's self-management. That's personal competence. That's that piece. And then there's social competence that has to do with social awareness and relationship management. These four are the key pillars, the four skills, as Travis Bradberry says in his book, EQ 2.0. Well, for me, as a leader in emotional intelligence, leadership development, and organizational health and growth, this is huge. I've got clients locally and nationally that are asking me, hey, Bobby, what do I do with this? How do I unpack it? And I believe the first step is to be emotionally intelligent about it. We can't deny it. We can't rationalize it. We can't suppress it. We can't push it down. It won't help if we do anyway. So after we become self-aware and after we begin to understand how to self-manage what we're more aware of about ourselves, then we got to become socially aware. What's going on with the people around me? What's the message of everyone? How's everyone else doing? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they doing? Because that's critical in order for us to understand relationship management, the fourth pillar. And that's just really how am I going to manage the relationships that I get the privilege to be in front of or encounter? Maybe you get the privilege to have an inner circle. Maybe it's your family, right? So many of us are so busy existing on the planet, we don't really have time to live. And the people that get pushed out most from our 168 hours a week to live on is our loved ones. Now in our time out, we're forced to slow way down, look at each other, look at our family and say, hey, this is all that really matters. Life is about relationships. It's about emotionally and relationally connecting in a healthy way. Right? We're being forced to kind of remember that and deal with it. We're on this global timeout, right? Anyway, I've been thinking about everybody, not only my clients. I wanted to say, for those of you who I have the honor to coach or counsel or lead individually or as a leader or as an organization or company in both the faith community and the business community, hang tight, guys. Positive thinking isn't going to be enough, but it's important what you do think. We really need to pick up the clarity at this time, right? Did you know that clarity is more important than certainty? There's not much we can be certain of, right? Who would have planned this 2 months ago, that we'd be finding grocery stores out of stock of toilet paper and paper towels, Band-Aids and batteries? I mean, what? Nothing's for certain. I've learned to seek clarity over certainty. What can I be clear on? So during this time, don't be surprised if there's more anxiety or panic attacks. Don't be surprised if you find yourself forced or tempted to numb out or to kind of check out. It's times like these that we find out that tragedy has no manners and is no respecter of persons. And we'll be tempted to kind of check out or maybe to anesthetize. Times like these, many of us become professional anesthesiologists. We choose our numbing agent. We go to our handy self-made and self-imposed medicine cabinet, and we pull out whatever it is. An extra apple, an extra Twinkie, an extra pair of shoes. Maybe we watch an extra movie. Is it wrong to have shoes, have a Twinkie, or watch a movie? No. Only if we're turning to it to anesthetize, to block, hide, or deny the pain, or deny what we're thinking and feeling and processing. So let me leave you with this. Take cheer, guys. For those of you who are of faith, remember the story of Jesus sleeping during one of the most frightening times of the disciples' lives. It was a tsunami-type storm that was putting every one of them at risk. They were in a boat that was capsizing, and it was horrible conditions. The weather, the water, the waves, the sea. Loud, ugly, cold, freezing. These guys were experts, but were fearing they were going to die. So after they exhausted themselves of their own personal resources, they finally ran over to Jesus, who was sleeping in the boat, right? Going through everything they were going through, experiencing everything they were experiencing, except Jesus was doing what? Modeling rest in their restlessness. He was modeling peace in their panic. He was modeling trusting when they're trying. What's going on here? No, God wasn't asleep on the job. I think he was modeling how do you handle storms and uncertainty, tsunamis, diseases, maybe unexpected crisis, maybe the coronavirus. Jesus would say, I'm sleeping in that rocky storm, modeling, here's how you deal with it. Trust instead of try, have peace instead of have panic. Rest instead of be restless. In who? The uncreated creator, the living God. He's got this. Doesn't mean we won't run out of toilet paper. Doesn't mean It won't be ugly. Doesn't mean we won't be frightened. Doesn't mean we'll have to feel like we're quarantined like little kids and be afraid on what is next or what can we hope in or be certain about. We can be clear that Jesus is saying, I got you. In that story, Jesus finally got up after they asked, Lord, don't you care? Wake up. They were so afraid they forgot that he does care. They doubted. Don't you care? We're going to die. Jesus looked at him and said, I got this. He woke up, walked over to the wind and the waves, and he basically said, sit down and shut up. He said, be still and be calm. In the original language in the Greek, that has the idea of saying to the wind and the waves, you sit down and you shut up. Isn't that amazing? God could speak to the wind and the waves in your life in a split second and take care of all this. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Nothing any demon, any problem. Nobody can stop what God wants to do in taking care of us and bringing hope to us. So wake him up. He's in your boat. Sometimes when God's sleeping, he speaks the loudest because he's modeling for us how to handle it. When you can't hear him, doesn't mean he's not there. It means he's teaching you how to rest, how to trust, how to change your thinking and change your beliefs, because that's how you change your feelings and emotions. If you're feeling scared and afraid and overwhelmed, that's because you're thinking and believing scared, afraid, and overwhelmed thoughts. Slow way down. Change your thinking and change your believing. Trust and believe. Jesus has got you. He's got your back. This is real, guys. 7 billion people on the planet. We're on a global timeout. Anyway, I was thinking about everybody, thinking about my clients. Here at Legacy Leadership and Coaching, we get the privilege to counsel and coach, lead, and train and develop individuals, leaders, and organizations, both in the faith community and the business community. So if you're one of my clients out there, man, I just wanted to say, I'm thinking about you. I care for you. We got you. We're going to continue meeting, video conferencing. I have so many of you that don't even live in Georgia, where we're headquartered. And I've been doing video conferencing with some of you for years. Some of you organizations, some of you leaders, some of you executives, pastors. Man. For those of you who never met me or don't know who I am, I'm Bobby Allen. And I, just like you, just trying to figure it out. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to start doing these Facebook Live deals. I've had friends and colleagues for the last 2-3 years asking me to do these things. For many different reasons, I haven't. But I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Most of the reasons I haven't done it are selfish. They're about me. Afraid, wanted to be done right, wanted to be perfect. Pretty much selfish reasons, but real reasons. So I'll be on again soon. In the meantime, the living God's got your name and address, and he's not mad at you. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.